Hello friends, in this video I am going to explain you the chapter from class 10 CBSE textbook. The name of the chapter is A Letter to God. So let's begin. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. Here crest refers to top of a hill. From this height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour. Downpour refers to heavy rain or a torrential rain, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, Yes, good willing. The older boys were working in the field, while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all. Come for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, These aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. The bigger drops are tens and pieces, and the little ones are fives. Here, the question may be asked that why did Lencho compare the raindrops to new coins? And your answer may be given as the raindrops help him to grow and harvest the crops, which results in the more prosperity. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Here, the word hailstone refers to frozen mass of ice. The word draped refers to covered with a cloth. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white, as if covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, A plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. The night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. Now let us move to oral comprehension check. I'll just be dictating, you write down. What did Lencho hope for? Lencho hoped for a good rain as it was much needed for a good harvest. Why did Lencho say the raindrops were like new coins? Lencho's crops were ready for harvest, as raindrops would have helped him in getting a better harvest, resulting in more prosperity, so Lencho compared them with the new coins. How did the rain change what happened to Lencho's fields? The rain was pouring down, but suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and very large hailstones began to fall along with the rain. The hail rained on the valley for an hour, because of which Lencho's fields were destroyed. There was not a single leaf left on the trees, and the flowers were gone from the plants. The corn was completely destroyed. What were the Lencho's feelings when the hail stopped? When the hail stopped, Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. He looked around at his fields and said that even a plague of locusts would have left more than that was left after the hailstorm. He said that they would have no corn that year and they would go hungry. He was full of sorrow. But in the hearts of all who lived in the solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope: help from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say: no one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope: the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is in deep in one's conscience. Lencho was an ox of a man. Here, ox of a man refers to very hard working person, working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. The following Sunday, at the daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes because the hailstorm. He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and, still troubled, went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Here, heartily means with full of heart. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow. Amiable refers to friendly and pleasant, also broke out laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk, commented, what faith! I wish I had the faith of man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter, but when he opened it was evident that to answer it he needed something more than goodwill, ink, and paper. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature: God. Now let us move to an oral comprehension check. I will be dictating and you can write down the answers. Who or what did Lencho have faith in? What did he do? Lencho had firm faith in God. He believed that God sees everything, even what is deep in one's conscience, and helps everyone in one's problem. He wrote a letter to God demanding 100 pieces from him to sow his field again. Who read the letter? Postman saw the letter and he took it to the postmaster. The postmaster read the letter and was impressed to see Lencho's faith in God. What did the postmaster do then? The postmaster decided to assist Lencho by providing cash assistance. He requested cash donations from the employees. He was unable to attain Lencho's requested amount of 100 pieces. Though, even so, he slit the cash inside the envelope and signed it God, as if God had responded to Lencho's message. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. Contentment means satisfaction. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money, such was his confidence, but he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake. Nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Denied means to refuse. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then fixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, God, of the money that I had asked for, only 70 pieces reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't send it me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks, Lencho. Last but not the least, let us move to oral comprehension check. So write down the answers as you are doing. Was Lencho surprised to find a letter for him with money in it? No, Lencho was not all surprised to see the letter from God with money inside it. His confidence and faith in God was such that he had expected that God would definitely send money and help him out of this situation. What made him angry? He got angry when he counted the money. There were only 70 pieces in the envelope. He was confident that God could neither make a mistake nor deny him what he had requested. Therefore, he concluded that post office employees must have taken the remaining 30 pieces. So here we ended the topic with explanation as well as word to word meaning in it. Where you faced difficulties, I have provided the meaning also orally, and also we have discussed the oral comprehension check with questions and answer. In next video I will be making the thinking about the text questions and answer, the exercises questions as well. So I hope you all enjoyed, and please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you everyone.